Among the directors who have worked at Pixar, one who has played a more pivotal role in the studio's history than people might realize is Angus MacLane. When I look over his contributions to Pixar's library, I see a remarkably talented artist with a keen visual eye and understanding of character and what animation is capable of. One of the first projects he worked on at Pixar was serving as an animator on the short film Jerry's Game. Part of a small team assigned to work on that short, MacLane helped give that old man playing chess his two distinct personalities. He also animated on A Bug's Life and provided animation storyboards for Toy Story 2. Toy Story 2 was when he first became familiar with the world of Buzz Lightyear and developed the character further. He helped design his nemesis, Emperor Zurg, and animated a lot of Buzz, primarily the one fresh out of the box at Al's Toy Barn. His next assignment was directing the computer-animated opening of the Buzz Lightyear Star Command television series. That short snippet did a wonderful job of connecting the Toy Story universe to the show, and it was fun seeing the characters come together to watch the newest episode. There were even little variations used. Already, from his first years at Pixar, Angus MacLane displayed an understanding of Buzz Lightyear and who he is. During the 2000s, he would be involved with every feature film at Pixar, often as an animator, but he would have other roles too, helping to storyboard scenes and design the characters. MacLane would even receive an Annie Award for Best Character Animation for his work on The Incredibles. He worked on a few of the shorts too, primarily for The Birds and One Man Band. Some of his biggest contributions to the movies would be on WALL-E. He held multiple jobs on that film, where he was credited as a directing animator, storyboard artist, and production artist. His animation work on the film included scenes with the welding robot, Bernie. This then led to MacLane making his directing debut with a short about that robot, which was included on the WALL-E DVD and Blu-ray. This is a delightful and hilarious short that shows how WALL-E's actions in the movie affected this little robot and his continuing mission to fix a light outside the Axiom. One of the film's strengths was how it gave personality to each individual robot, and MacLane brought that to the short too. His building frustration is wonderfully portrayed, and his story is nicely matched with the movie's events, and it all leads to one hilarious moment after another, while also creating a level of sympathy for Bernie. WALL-E is my #1 favorite Pixar movie, and this short served as an excellent companion piece. After working on Up and Toy Story 3, Angus MacLane got to direct another short, Small Fry, featuring the characters of Toy Story. Once again working with Buzz Lightyear, he developed a funny story involving him getting trapped in a fast food restaurant and meeting kids' meal toys. This allowed for several funny gags related to those tiny toys and the various types that exist. There was so much creativity in this short, based around Buzz being in the support group for fast food toys, and then his tiny counterpart winding up in Bonnie's room and the chaos that ensues from this. Small Fry is also an example of MacLane's knowledge of toys, which made him a perfect choice to handle anything related to the Toy Story franchise. He has helped expand the universe in inventive ways and add more dimensions to Buzz Lightyear in particular. He would return to that world not long afterwards, when he directed the television special Toy Story of Terror. Airing on ABC in time for the Halloween season, the story mainly focuses on Jessie and her fears as she deals with the toys going missing one by one at a motel. MacLane captured the appropriate spooky atmosphere while still keeping that element of fun we associate with Toy Story. The special also did a nice job of developing Jessie and giving her a chance to shine. Combat Carl even makes an appearance after we saw one getting blown up by Sid in the first movie. Angus MacLane seems to have a genuine understanding of the lore of Toy Story and the importance of each toy within the world they inhabit. Toy Story of Terror was a great special, with MacLane later winning an Annie Award for his direction. He would collaborate with WALL-E director Andrew Stanton again, this time as a co-director on Finding Dory. MacLane additionally provided story material to the movie, which is one of my personal favorite Pixar sequels. It told a wonderful story of Dory looking for her parents and winding up in an aquarium where she meets a wide array of aquatic animals, including a grumpy octopus. On Finding Dory, he said he worked in sync with Stanton to help bring his creative vision to life and to give some sound advice when problems arose, especially on comedic beats. That movie did turn out to be a hilarious film with so many funny sequences that did not get in the way of the more emotional and dramatic moments that occur. I thought Andrew Stanton and Angus MacLane did a wonderful job of Finding Dory and making a worthy sequel that nicely expanded on Dory's character. He would be a part of Pixar's senior creative team for many years, all while developing what would be his next directorial effort. That film will be Lightyear, which makes sense considering his role in shaping Buzz Lightyear in several of his appearances over the years. The movie was inspired by MacLane's childhood love of seeing the latest science fiction spectacle and wondering about the movie that inspired Andy the same way he was inspired. Pixar has produced a lot of films lately inspired by the director's personal experiences, and even though Lightyear is part of the Toy Story franchise, I would also very much count it among those personal pet projects for the reasons I mentioned. I absolutely adore this movie as a fan of the character and of science fiction. I'd actually wanted for years to see Pixar produce their own Buzz Lightyear Star Command movie for the big screen, and while this is not quite how I pictured it, what Angus MacLane created still impressed me in a major way. I love how it depicts the origin of the fictional Buzz and his determination to get the crew off this planet. The first act is already engrossing, with Buzz not giving up as he travels forward in time, but he also misses the small things that make life special. There's an emotional element here that MacLane portrays beautifully. When we get to the whiz-bang action, those also deliver, and I really like the dynamic that develops between Buzz and the outsider group of space rangers he needs. His robotic cat Socks, voiced by fellow Pixar director Peter Sohn, was another highlight and provided some of the funniest moments in the movie. Visually, the film is remarkable, especially if you got the opportunity to watch it on IMAX, and it also featured a fantastic score by Michael Giacchino. There was some confusion regarding the premise of the film, which was not the fault of the filmmakers. When the film was announced, Pete Docter and Angus MacLane were very clear that it was an in-universe movie that Andy saw, which inspired the creation of the toy and the larger Buzz Lightyear franchise. It was Chris Evans who muddled the waters by saying it was about the human Buzz Lightyear. That's what created the confusion, but I thought it made sense what it was all about and how it fit within the Toy Story universe. In any case, I found Lightyear to be a breathtaking science fiction adventure with wonderful character growth for Buzz and a lot of imagination, warmth, and winning humor. I would have loved to have seen a sequel, but the film sadly did not do well, and that's likely the last we'll see of this version of Buzz Lightyear. What really upset me, though, was the announcement in June that Angus MacLane will be among 75 Pixar employees being let go by Disney, all because Lightyear underperformed at the box office, and he absolutely did not deserve it. None of the people who were fired did. He has contributed so much to Pixar, and has been a key part of so many of the movies we love. It's clear looking at his career that few people understand Buzz Lightyear more than him, and he deserves just as much credit as John Lasseter, Andrew Stanton, Joe Ranft, Lee Unkrich, and others for the development of the character. He's also been doing a lot of neat things with Lego, proving his immense creativity beyond computer-animated films. Whatever Angus MacLane decides to direct or work on next, I'll definitely be excited to see what he has come up with. Any studio who hires him will be bringing on board a filmmaker with great imagination, creative writing skills, an understanding of character development, and what makes movies such a wondrous visual and storytelling medium. I just want to thank Angus MacLane for everything he has done at Pixar, especially Lightyear, and I look forward to seeing his name in the credits again in the future. I know he will continue to enchant and entertain us to infinity and beyond.